Yes.
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
We are live. We are back live on YouTube from our homes while this weather is figuring out what it wants to do. Yes, yes. Welcome back. We hope
Welcome
everyone
back.
is safe and secure in their homes. If you got some stuff going on outside, it's just the strong winds around here right now, but yeah. So, hey, lady, I'm excited. Our
Yeah,
first live show
on YouTube.
on YouTube. Yes, yes. And I'm very excited for our guest today that we'll have. But before we speak with Dr. Carmeletta and let her in, what were y'all sipping on this week? What y'all sipping on right now,
This week.
anyway?
I've got orange juice.
Orange juice.
I got tropical mango punch.
Oh, that sounds good. Tiff, you're muted.
I have water.
Water. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, you guys know it's still Ramadan. I only have a few days left, so I'm not sipping anything right now, but I will be when the sun goes down. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm excited. So last week, you guys know we got to hang out with a bunch of wonderful women. We went to Black Women Get Fit and we heard some phenomenal spoken words, encouragement, got to be active. We found out another person that's doing great things in the community and shared that interview. So this week, we are excited that we have one of our own, another great historian, actually. We have Dr. Carmeletta Williams joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get her on. So get ready. Let's see.
All right.
Mm-mm. All right. She should be coming in soon.
Yay, hopefully, hopefully. In the meantime, and in between time, what you got? Oh, there she is. Yes. Hello, hello. Hi, Dr. Carmeletta.
Her face is there.
Can you hear us? Check to see if you're on mute. We see you. We're glad you're here to join us.
Oh, she was on mute.
Okay,
Ask
yes,
on
let's see
mute.
if we can. Yeah.
Ask to start camera. Uh,
Can you unmute there right at the bottom of your screen? You see that microphone there? Because we still can't hear you.
mm,
Still not getting it.
Still not getting it.
So as you guys know, technology, we sometimes have some technical difficulties, but hopefully we'll get Dr. Carmeletta here shortly. So while we're waiting, hopefully for there, okay. Maybe this will work. Dr. Carmeletta, is your sound
No,
working?
it's back on mute.
You have to unmute Dr. Carmeletta.
I'm trying.
Yes! Ah! There you are! Hi!
Okay, I had feedback. Where is that?
I think you have an echo because you're on both. You have two logins with the Black Archives and then the other. So yeah, you have to mute probably one, but try and speak again and see. Yeah, they may be too close.
I don't know how to get that.
Can you want me to, maybe if I log you out of the other one, let me log you out of the other one and see if
Okay.
that will help.
Okay.
All right, try that.
Okay,
Yes, that did it.
that's better.
Yes. Hey, Dr. Carmelita, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing well. We are so excited to have you here. So before we dive into anything, I wanted to have everyone introduce themselves to you. We're just excited that you're here with us on Sipping and Spilling the Tea. And then I'll do just a little spiel because you have such great work, but a little spiel of background for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, so however you guys want to start, you guys can introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Terry. I'm in education. I've been down to the Black Archives. I used to work for Lincoln University, their extension program. So we've gone down there lots of times.
Great.
Tiffany, you're muted.
Sorry. I'm Tiffany Drummer, and I work for the city of Kansas City. I've been there for 30 years. So that's basically where I've been half of my life.
You guys can unmute. I think you'll be okay if you leave your microphones open. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alicia.
Hello, I'm Alicia Burrs. I work for the federal government, been there 23 years, and hopefully get to leave soon.
And I'm Crystal Shakur, and I'm just excited to be here. I'm also an educator, but we are just friends, sister friends, that we were so appreciative of one of our other friends that actually introduced us to podcasting a few years ago, right before COVID. And so then we stopped after that and was able to start again about a year and a half ago. So we're just excited to be able to share information about things going on in the city, wonderful people like yourself, Dr. Carmelita, and just all the great things that are going on in our city, which is why we call it Sipping and Spilling the Tea in KC as well.
Well, I have my tea.
All right. Yes, you sipping on some tea. You ready? Awesome. Okay, so before we dive into anything, I just want to share a little bit about you, Dr. Carmelita, if you don't mind. And this is nothing compared to the extensive work that you have. So Dr. Carmelita Williams is a professor, a published author, a business owner, a public speaker, and the executive director of the Black Archives. Of course, this is what we want to dive into really well. But also, and when I was researching you, I didn't know this, that you won an Emmy. You also won an Emmy for your portrayal of Zora Neale Hurston, right? On the Meet the Past program.
Ooh.
Right? We are in the presence of an Emmy winner. Hey, yes, yes.
That was a joy. I love Zora. So,
Yes. So, yes, hopefully we can dive into that and you can speak to that a little bit as well. So, before we begin, I just wanted to ask, is there anything or any way that you would like to just share a little background about yourself, kind of introduce yourself to everyone?
I'm a Kansas City girl. I was born and raised on 55th Street. I was
Hey.
third generation of folks in my family born in that area. And there was a small area from 55th to 53rd, Prospect to Waldron. And the old 54th Street neighborhood is what we call it. And they still have reunions. They have a Facebook page, etc. My church is still there on 53rd and South Benton.
Okay.
So I grew up in a really wonderful space. And everybody there looked like me, and they were very proud of Blackness. And so I knew that that was going to be important to me. And I grew up with people who encouraged me. Even the neighbors and family and everybody, like I'd be walking down the street and they're going like, "What you reading now?" And they would buy me books. So it was
Awesome.
a big place to grow up.
Yes, that's wonderful. We
Yeah,
have talked about that too, how growing up where it's more like a village, when we were younger, it's not quite the same these days, but that's such a beautiful feeling to have, to
it
grow
is.
up with
I knew
neighbors.
everybody in our neighborhood. I don't know the people 3 doors down from me now.
Yeah.
Now you don't. You don't. Um, Dr. Carmeletta, the church that you grew up in, is it called Willis Chapel?
Willis Chapel, AME Church. Yeah.
Yes. I I was raised at Good Samaritan Missionary Baptist Church, so I know the church well.
And in that church, there was in that neighborhood, there were 3 churches.
Yes, there was.
And 2 blocks by 8 blocks, and there were 3 churches there.
Hmm. Right in the area.
Right, right.
Awesome. So we got some native Kansas Cityans all on here. Beautiful, strong Black women all here. Yes, excited, excited. All right, Dr. Carmeletta. So, also in my research, finding out that you became the CEO and the executive director of the Black Archive in 2018. Can you share a little bit about how that happened and your transition? Because I also spoke about you being a professor and an educator and all of that. So, yeah, could you share a little bit about how that happened?
I had lots of jobs. My mother was a nurse, and she always wanted me to be a doctor. For Christmas, she'd buy me medical bags, and I'd tell her I'm not going to be a doctor, and I would kick it up under the bed. And um, so when I did get my PhD, I said, "Okay, now you have a doctor." And she said, "Yeah, but I wanted you to be a clinician." But it was a wonderful space, and I was really stupid. I mean, I got married at 18. My mother
Wow.
she cried like a baby, and her friend Bernice, who just died a couple of weeks ago, said, "You act like that. Carmen's just getting married to guillotine." And my mother said, "It's the same thing." And so while I was trying to get my BA, I'd tell my students, before you drop out, come and talk to me, because I had 2 courtships, 2 marriages, 2 children, and 2 divorces
Wow.
before I got my bachelor's degree. And then I decided I'm not going to take this much time. So I got my master's in a year and a half, and I got my PhD in a year and a half. But I was just focused then. It was like, okay, I've wasted enough time doing all this extraneous stuff. So let me focus on me and what I want. And I worked in radiation therapy, which was rewarding. But I knew I didn't have it. And I told my mother, I said, this is why I couldn't be a doctor, because I worked on a team and we treated veterans and babies. And one day we had Renee was our tech, and set a guy up to be treated, and he just started throwing up, and he said, help me, please. And I couldn't help him. And
Mm.
I knew then that I was in the wrong space. So then I went to work for a construction company for a while. I worked in banks and Blue Valley Savings and Loan. Neither one of the bank or the savings and loan are here anymore. But then at the construction company, after I got my second divorce, it's like, okay, now my life is going to be what I want it to be. So I saw an ad for somebody to teach mythology at Johnson County Community College. And I thought, I made A's in myth. I can do this. So I sent in my resume and letter, and they called me in. And then the woman who was over that department says, you belong in the English department. So she transferred me over to them, and they hired me on the spot, and spent 28 years there. And I
Wow.
all kinds of English classes. We all had to teach composition, but I also taught drama, black lit, the whole range. But my goal was to teach on every continent except for the frozen ones. And so far I have done that, except for Australia. You know anybody in Australia who needs me to go down and teach them something, then it'll be complete. But when I was growing up, my mother would say, I was born to be jet set. You're bigger than this neighborhood. And people who live there would say the same thing, and try to encourage me to think bigger and think more worldly. So that's what I did. And it's been a great career. So they had a buyout for early retirement. So I took it. And then because I knew I had a job in the People's Republic of China, so I went over there and
Hmm.
trained in Normal University. And it was I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But I had a grandbaby that after that year, and it's like, okay, it's time to go home. So I went back home, and my son and I started a publishing house, my son Jason. And then I got this call, Dr. Carmen, Black Archives is in chaos, and we need you to come fix it. And I said, no, thank you.
You weren't in the fixing business at that time, huh? Wasn't feeling it.
Right. I was working with people, helping them to get their stuff published. I had published a lot, and so that was rewarding. And then the late Taylor Field said, well, just come down and talk to us. So I did, and I fell in love with the place. It was like the culmination of what I'd been teaching for 28 years. So, but it was a mess. It was essentially, a lot of people thought it was closed down, and I went down for my appointment and nobody was there, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I said, okay, you got 5 minutes. My life is busy and I'm not going to stay. And then Mr. Field showed up, and then later, there were only a couple of employees there. So, but it was like, okay, this has so much potential, and I know that I can make it work. So I took the job, and it has been an amazing experience. It's almost like it's what all the other things I had been doing led me to. So I love it. We're active, we're expanding, we're vibrant. So it's great.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. That is awesome. Look, no, ma'am. Look, did you see that in the chat? It looks like Alicia said the military base in Australia could use an English teacher.
Well, you know what? I have taught at the American School of The Hague, which was a wonderful experience. And I'm on the Fulbright list, so I'll look and see if that's on their list.
Oh, okay. You have done so many great things. Oh my goodness. Wow, I had no idea. So what I want to ask about, with you being a published author, would you share some of maybe the works that you've done that you've published?
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
my first published piece was when I was an undergraduate. And my professor said, you need to turn this into new letters and get it published. I'm like, I'm going to publish my work. He's going to like turn it in. So I did, and they published it. So, but most of my work has been academic, a lot of articles and bios and entries into scholastic books. But I also had fun. I won, it still cracks me up, and I haven't figured it out. I won an Innovation of the Year award for
Okay.
a
For
poem.
what?
A poem. I wanted it to be
Wow.
gets an award for being a poem.
Congratulations. Wow, it must have been an amazing poem. Look,
Yeah.
you get an award for it. It must have been amazing.
I'm like, okay. It was free verse, so maybe that's what they liked about it. But it was a poem. I want somebody to say I was a good poet. Nobody ever has. Yeah. So, and I focused on Langston Hughes, and I kind of fell into that because it was his anniversary, and I was connected with KU. I got my PhD at KU, and they asked me if I would write a study guide for Langston Hughes for teachers. So I did, and that was a hired pen, so I got paid for that. And then other folks, University of Missouri Press wanted a book, so I did a book for them, and I did an article with another woman on Langston Hughes and his mother, and they said, "Can you do a whole book on this?" So I did, and John Edgar Tidwell, who was at KU, he said, "It's going to be an important book. I want to be a part of it," and I'm going, "Oh, okay." So things you do for your boyfriends. And he was my boyfriend. um, so, and it was a good book. It was hard to write because I did not like his mother. And
Oh, really?
you try to be fair and balanced, but I never liked Carrie. And as I went through the research and explored their lives together, here's a little boy who all he wanted was to be with his mother, and all she wanted was what she wanted. So never did learn to like her. So that was really difficult. Um, and then I wrote a National Council of Teachers of English, asked me to write a teacher's guide for high school teachers on Langston Hughes. So I have that book. And then I thought, well, for fun, when my mother had a stroke, my daughter didn't understand how her once vibrant grandmother all of a sudden had left-sided weakness, couldn't speak the same, couldn't drive anymore. So I wrote a children's book, Jacine and Grandma's Cane.
Oh,
And I was actually performing here. Sony Pictures was launching A Panther in Africa about Pete and Charlotte O'Neill. And so Michael Patton, they asked us to be Pete and Charlotte. So our Partridge put all of their poems together, all of their writings together for the script. So Michael and I did that. And while we were at rehearsal, I said, I've got this wonderful children's book, but I can't draw stick people. And she said, my daughter is an artist and she teaches art. So contacted her daughter and she did the illustration. So it is a beautiful, beautiful book. And then after I got that done, and I shared it with the Stroke Foundation, who said it would really be a good tool for people who had parents and grandparents with stroke. So that was wonderfully received. And then I thought, well, I'll do a book. I have 3 grandsons. Well, I have 4 now. And I said, I'll do a book for the boys. And so I was going to do one each, and then they decided they wanted to be in the same book. We wrote Little J, Ivan, and Axel, and the dreaded Mommy Water. And the Mommy Water is an African myth. And she can live in the water or out of the water. And in the book, the boys joined together to stop the Mommy Water from destroying their father in the village. And it was
wow.
fun because they would come over here and I would read them what I had. And they would go like, no, I don't think he'd say that. I think he would say this. So I drew them in and they felt like they were really hard. So that was
So are those books still available? Where can we get those?
sale at the Black Archives. So you can get them at the Black Archives.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I'm working on a book. For 28 years in African American studies, almost every single semester, a student would say, I wouldn't have took that if I'd been a slave.
Mm. Yeah.
Because if you don't, then they kill you.
Mhm.
And if they kill you, then they win. But what makes you think they just took it? They didn't just take it, but they were smart about how they did it. So my book now, and since I told you I was married early as a teenager. So I was a mother at 20. And so I always wondered, what would it be like to be a mother? If you don't own your own body, you don't own your own kids.
Mm.
So my book is on voices of resistance. What would it be like to be a mother and then resist someone who owns your children? And it's really a good book. My favorite story, it's almost finished. I need a power story, and I haven't found it yet. But I went down and I had a summer fellowship in South Carolina, and they took us over to Sapelo Island. And the woman who wrote the book, God, Dr. Buzzard, and the Bolito Man, came one day and took us over to Sapelo, and she told us about her aunt who was the cook. And so her owner put her in a boat, sent her over to Charleston to get things that they didn't grow on the island. She had one child. When she came back, she couldn't find her daughter.
Mm.
She was asking people if they knew where she was, and she was frantic, and nobody would tell her. And then finally, one of her friends came up and said, Massa sold her.
Oh.
She didn't scream, she didn't holler, she didn't cry, but every day she ground up a little bit of glass and put it in his food. So they called the doctor to see what was wrong. The doctor tried to treat him. Then the doctor said, well, maybe he's been voodoo. So they called the witch doctor in to try to see if he could reverse whatever it was. And every day she ground up more glass until he died.
Mm-hmm.
Persistence. That's how you.
That is exactly.
Wow.
So that's one of my favorite. There are many others. I have like 8, but I want one more. And then I'm going to be done with it. I have had readings, and I had a fellowship at the Hall Center for the Humanities at KU. And then you have to do a public reading. And they really loved it. But to me, it's all finished. So once I get another story, if you all know any stories, let me know so I can find them. And I'm trying to make them all be real stories.
Yes.
You
Okay.
we know about Toni Morrison, we know about Beloved, but I want these to be the actual people. I could do Margaret Garner, but everybody knows that story.
No, not everyone.
That's the Beloved story.
Oh, okay, okay. That's her name. Okay, well, that's her name. Yeah, yeah.
So her real name
Her
was.
real name. Okay, okay.
So I
Wow.
made it clear since it was, if I just get to her real story and not to Toni Morrison's story,
Mhm, mhm.
because I wanted to be real life people or
Yeah.
work real life people.
Wow.
So I'm doing that, and I'm working with some folks who'll be here. We partner with the Lyric Opera, and so this week we're going to do a program at the Black Archive. There'll be 8 places in the city where they will do it. It's a mobile performance
Okay.
on Langston Hughes.
Yes. I
Yeah,
think we have tickets
that's
to
for
come to one of those.
yeah, I won't be at all 8. I'll just be at the Black Archives, and
Yeah.
I'll give an intro to Langston and to the Harlem Renaissance for that. So I'm excited about that. And I'm working with a group of folks from New York, and we're making a movie about Langston. So they're
Nice.
down for the performance. So I'm really excited.
That is exciting. You have done such great work. Just a plethora of from writings to, like you say, poetry to acting. I mean, there's just so much. So what I'm thinking about, because thinking about the fact that you said you were married at 18, and I know a lot of people that are a little bit older maybe than us may have married early, but where or what was your motivation really to keep going? Because as you say, you went through divorce, you went through, and some people in this day and time, a lot of people struggle with a lot of mental health. And um, I don't know what really kept you going, I guess, is a good question to just, what was it that kept you going? Because you've had just a wonderful life, it sounds like, such great experiences.
Fabulous. And that's such a great question because I've thought about it several times. And when I hear people say, my daughter, when she has a child and a bad relationship, it's like, this is terrible, I can't do this. And I thought, I failed her where I wasn't failed, because I had people every single day of my life tell me how special life was, how special I was, and just to keep moving. I had a friend, um, I started working when I was in high school. I lied about my age and started working at Blue Valley Federal Savings and Loan. And a young white girl that I work with, gave me a rock. And it's a flat, smooth rock. I still have it. And it said, keep your face towards the sunshine, and the
Mm.
shadows will fall behind you. And it was laminated. And when times got tough, I'd pull out my rock and I would think about where I came from. And as long as I kept moving and kept knowing, you know, now I'm digressing a little bit, but when I was growing up, my mother used to say, Carmen, you're beautiful. And I would say, yeah, I'm kind of cute, but I don't know about beautiful. And she said, no, you really are. So why do you keep saying that? And she said, because I want you to know it so that you don't get turned around by any little boy who comes by and tells you. And I know women like that, who just need that
Mhm.
man. So when I was going through my troubles and trials, I knew that I was going to be okay. It was going to be rough. And the roughest time is when I left with 2 babies, 2 little boys. It was like, but I'm going to be okay. I've got people who they're not going to let me go without clothes. They're not going to let me go without food. And so I'm going to be okay. And I knew that, and my heart would be broken, and I'd be crying sometimes, but I knew that I was going to be all right because
Yeah.
I'd grown up with that. And so I feel so sorry for people, women who didn't have that, who don't know that they don't know how special they are. And remember the movie The Help when she went
Yes.
to the little white girl and she would say, "You are beautiful, you are smart." You know, they didn't get that. They didn't have somebody telling them, "You're beautiful, you're smart, you're kind." Um, and so then when the trouble falls down, then they don't know how to get back up. So
Mhm.
it's never too late to teach.
Yes.
So somehow we've got to keep pushing, no matter how old they are, and let them know that you can get up, you can succeed, you can do whatever the heck you want to do.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
And Rotunda Pickens, she always says, adjust your crown.
Adjust your
Adjust your crown. You have a crown. It's yours. You deserve it. You own it. Adjust it. So we have to keep teaching those lessons. We have to keep teaching women how important they are. How
Yeah. Yes, you truly are a living example of a leader, an educator, an inspiration for us Black women, and especially for those of us here in Kansas City. Just to know you and to be able to say, met Dr. Carmelita, and I know where she is. She's at Black Archive. And for you to come on our show, look, I'm really overwhelmed about it all because this is just such a great feeling. When you don't hear everyone's story. And you've told such a great story of all the wonderful works you've done, even through trial, how you've persevered. I love where you said, when you left with your kiddos the second time, now my life is going to be what I want it to be. Because sometimes we have to think about that too, selfishly, how we lead our life. Because when we're in relationships, women tend to lose themselves in relationships. So I really appreciate that you said that. For hopefully our viewers can even listen to that. There were so many great things you said. I'm just thankful that you're here sharing your story
Well, I'm
of
grateful
everything that you did.
that you asked me to come. This is fun. This is
Yes. Yes. Okay, so for people to know about the Black Archives, of course, they can go to the website, but what about just visiting and touring? How about, what are hours and how can they do all of that?
we're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And we're open on weekends by appointment, which means call us and tell us you want to come. And I told you how far it was when I got there. So I couldn't afford, and we couldn't afford to have people sitting there on Saturdays and nobody came. But we would be happy to be there if somebody told us they were coming. So
Yeah.
that's why we're not open on weekends, but we're actually open almost every single day. This past week, I had events on Saturday, so I didn't work today, except here with you. But
Yeah.
weeks before that, I worked 3 solid weeks in a row. So we do want people to come. We want them to visit. We have event space. We've had everything from baby showers to funerals and funeral repast, even after the funeral. Uh, there in our spaces, we have 4 galleries. And we don't charge people to come. We're nonprofit. That doesn't mean that we can operate without money. So we
Right.
depend on donations and help from folk. But and the rental spaces give us a good income. But just come down and we'll take you through. We'll tour you. We have it all recorded if you want to go at your own speed, when you want to go through. It's actually a wonderful place now. And because we don't want it to be an I've already seen it kind of place, we also have a rotating gallery. And once in a while, put a new exhibit in there. So there's always something new to see. So it's exciting. It's fun. We have the Women's Professional Basketball Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
A guy named Lightning Mitchell came in my office one day and said, "Did you know the women's professional basketball started in Kansas City?" I said, "I'm running a museum. I need proof." So he just hauled in 5 boxes of okay, okay. So I went through the boxes and he actually paid for the exhibit. And then we had some retired women's professional basketball players come and says, "This is beautiful. But what you're not telling is the whole story because women's professional basketball started in 1931. So I'd love to tell the whole story, but I don't have the money." So they made those panels for the early years. And so we don't buy anything. at the Black Archives, everything we have, and we have thousands of pictures and artifacts and recently books, Black books that were donated to us. And they're really special to us because they tell us that these are the things our community sees as being important to Black identity. So we're excited about it. I had 3 friends from KU, college professors who retired. And the first one, Dr. Bill Tuttle, called me up and said, Karma, Kathy and I, his wife, were driving around looking at houses. And I thought, why is he calling me, telling me about houses? And I said, oh, okay. I said, I liked your old one, but this is fine. He said, yeah, well, we're going to downsize. And one of the things we have to do is I have to get rid of my library, and I want you to have it.
Oh,
Wow.
right.
You mean the Black Archives, because I would not take your library into my house. So we sent a U-Haul truck and about 60 boxes and went and packed up his library and brought it to the archives. And then another friend, David Katzman, Dr. David Katzman, said, Carmen, this is David Katzman. I heard that Bill gave you his library. I said, yeah, we're so excited. He said, well, I want you to have mine too. So then we got his. And then Dr. John Edgar Tidwell said, I heard Bill and libraries. Well, we want you to have ours. So we got his too. So we have what I am claiming is the largest collection of Black books this side in the Midwest.
Ooh.
Because they all were African Americanists, we had several of the same. So we're keeping 2 copies of each.
Okay.
So
Dr. Karma, I have to ask, we're gifted a book. We have Black History Local Kansas City by historian Sonny Gibson. You have that?
We do have it.
Yes, we just found out about it.
Great friend to the Black Archives. And he collected it, and he gave us boxes of his documents, things from his house, his books. Yeah, he did a great job in collecting those articles.
We love that. Yes.
In a book. Yeah. And there's some other local historians too who've done great jobs. So we have their books there.
Awesome. So everybody, you have to go to the Black Archives. Come find out about our history.
Yeah.
Is there a specific number of people you would like to come on the weekend? So you won't it won't be just the 4 of us, but is it like a certain number of people that you prefer?
Well, it can be the 4 of you, but we just need to know in advance. If you have a group, that's even better, because I have to pay somebody. But yeah, sure, come on down. And we usually have some kind of event there on weekends anyway. So if we know you're coming, we'll open up the exhibition halls.
Yeah, I can speak to the events as well. Go ahead, Alicia. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I've been doing a lot of talking too. Go ahead.
Well, no, I've been running on because
no, I'm enjoying it. I'm taking notes. I'm enjoying it.
We want to hear from you, Dr. Carmen.
Yes. No, I'm taking notes. You see, I put in the chat, adjust your crown. No.
Yeah, we have a cafe. It's open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 3. We do breakfast and lunch. And I went to the Alvin Ailey gala last night, and I ran into a woman who said, I'm down there at least 3 times a week. And I'm going like, why haven't I seen her? Because she's at the cafe. So she comes down, she gets some food, she sits in the cafe, she opens her computer. A lot of folks do that. And they have things there. So the cafe is there, the gift shop, we feature all local artists. First off, we want them to have a place where they can display their art and then to sell it. So it's all local folk. Well, we have a few greeting cards that we bought from Black Expressions, but everything else are all local folk. So it's fun. It's a good day, you come down and it'll be a good day. We have 2 recording studios.
Really?
Yeah, there's a saying that the best stories are in the cemetery, and we don't want that to be the truth. So we have 2 studios to save oral histories. We have people come there and do podcasts. And
look, you see, that's why I'm up here like,
I was thinking the same thing, like, wow.
We have a lot of photographers come and use the studios. So, it's a lot of excitement. And we had Heritage Hall. Yesterday we had genealogy classes. Preston Washington from MAGIC, which is the Mid-America Genealogy, something, something.
Uh-huh.
They're Black researchers. And they donated the cemetery records to Highland Cemetery to us.
Wow.
Since then, we have partnered with the county and with the folks in Utah who have the genealogy center, and with one of the cemetery, with Highland Cemetery and Lincoln Cemetery, because they said they had 400 people, like in the last 2 years, looking for their folks,
Mhm.
find where they were buried because the records were in such bad shape.
Mhm.
So we're cleaning them off, we're organizing them, we are partnering with other folks so that people can find their folks. My folks are buried, and I want to go find them.
Yes.
And our family would go out regularly, so I know where they are. But if I'm coming in from town, I need to be able to find them.
Yes.
Or if I just now realized that I was closer to somebody than I thought maybe, and I want to go honor them and their grace, you need to know where they are. So we're doing that too. We're trying to make past and present accessible to all of our folk. We need to know this and who we are and where we came from is essential to our futures and for our young folk. And I'm going to shut up. I
No, no.
always think that the reason there is so much crime among young folk in our neighborhood is because they don't know how valuable they are.
Right.
You know the stories. They're buying into the hype, so they need to know. Okay.
Yeah, well, before I start that, first of all, let me say I ought to be ashamed of myself. I have lived here in the city my whole life, and I've never been to the Black Archives.
Okay, you're going to fix that soon.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
So my question is, everything that is displayed in the archives, is it articles and things that people bring down there themselves? Have you all just stumbled up on some history documents and put it in there? Is that how you all collect those items that are in the archives?
Well, the archives has a long history of collection. Our founder, Horace Peterson II, story is that when he was in middle school, he started collecting buttons and brochures and storing them in the trunk of his car. And I've heard stories about him dumpster diving, like behind the call paper to see what kind of news was thrown away or what's going on, and going in the windows of abandoned houses and seeing what. So there was a collection, but everything we have was donated to us. We've made some great partnerships. Rex Purefoy, who everybody knows is an international photographer and the dancing cowboy, came in one day and said, I never trusted my stuff anywhere, but I'm going to give you. So he gave us one of his costumes that he wore as the dancing cowboy, and a lasso and boots. And I had a woman who was moving out of town, a white woman, and she was at a luncheon and ran into Marquita Taylor, who is our area representative, and asked her, did she know anybody at the Black Archives? And Marquita said, yeah, I know Dr. Carmen. And she connected us, and this woman gave us two 800-pound African soapstone statues.
Wow.
Yeah, they are amazing. And when I got there was this beautiful wire sculpture on top of the shelf. And I said, okay, we're going to clean this thing off because more people than me have to love this thing. So we cleaned it off, took it downstairs, and it was by an artist named Tim McClendon. Well, I'm walking through that area with Stinson McClendon and Rodney Thompson. And I said, this is my new love. I love her. Her name is the breast of the world. She's got like 5 breasts around. And Stinson said, that's my brother's work. I got chills. So he told his brother how much I loved him. Brother called me up, and he has A-list. He was Tim McClendon here. When he moved out to LA, he became Tommy. But he has A-list clients like Oprah and Denzel, and his work sells for so much. And I told him, I said, I really love this piece. And he said, Horace Peterson used to come into his studio, and he would say, Horace, go away. I don't have time to keep messing with you today. We want to get in here and chit chat, and I got work to do. And he said Horace kept bugging him so much for her that he said, just take the damn thing. That's how we partner with the prosecutor's office because in this area, for the first time, Cameron Lamb's case was the first time a white officer was convicted of killing an innocent Black person.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
That the former governor was going to overturn the case, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
But so we had an exhibit for him. His mother gave us a picture. We got the documents, court documents from the prosecutor's office. And then I got a call from the appeals court because Eric DeValkenmere, the police officer, had filed for an appeal, which didn't failed. And so she gave us those things. And then a few months ago, his mother finally was able to go through the bags of clothes that he had on. So we also have his cell phone, his garage door, or the money that he had in his pockets.
Wow.
We have that. And then Ryan Stokes' mother said, I know you have that for Cameron, but what about Ryan? So for Ryan, we recorded her. And we had her attorney, and a community activist. And so we recorded them. So Ryan's story is on some kiosks. We got grants and we're able to put kiosks in and load them up. We partnered with the Equal Justice Initiative. That's Brian Stevenson. I'm stuck on Ryan Stokes. Brian Stevenson. And so we have the only exhibit this side of Montgomery, Alabama, dedicated to victims of racial murder. They identified 60 people from 1865 to 1965 that were lynched unfairly. And so we have those names, but we also know the Emmett Till story, right? They went in that boy's uncle's house, drug him out, tortured him for several days before they killed him, tied the cotton mill gin weight around his ankles and threw him in. So we have some blanks also, blank spaces. And what we do is we go and collect dirt underneath where the bodies were hanging, put them in jars.
Oh.
People think they're ashes, but they're not ashes.
Yeah.
But
even still,
I feel like that's where their last blood, sweat, and tears were. So we have those, and then we have the blank spaces for those people who we know they would go in and hang them and have fires and then run off and leave their bodies hanging. Well, their families would go cut them down and wash them and prepare them for burial, walk them around the house and then bury them. We won't know their names. So that's why we have the blank spots. And Horace and some of his friends learned that there was a home where formerly enslaved women lived. So we have Lucy's cabin in Trenton, Missouri. It's not far from us. The cabin, the house is actually 1/3 the original size because it had been there since days of enslavement. So some of the boards were rotted, but every board there is original to the house.
wow.
Yeah. So, but everything was donated to us. And
What an amazing, amazing museum. Everyone, you have got to get down there to see our history, to experience our history, because it's really an experience. And then about the cafe, you can go to the museum and then sit, relax, and enjoy the cafe. You know, that sounds like a wonderful time. It's getting warm. We're going to be out, Dr. Carmel. We're going to be out as it gets warmer. We like to also go out and like do interviews and talk about things in the city. So maybe we'll come by and actually get you in person since we couldn't have you today.
Please do. I'll be looking.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also forgot to tell you that we also have an exhibit to a war veteran. A Medal of Honor winner. I had 2 women come into my office and say they were cleaning their house and they found their uncle's Medal of Honor. And I about choked to death. I'm like, real? I said, yeah, I want you to have it. It was his honest to God Medal of Honor.
Wow.
So his name was PFC Willie James. So we have that. And we had Operation Hero Homecoming event. We First Sergeant Robert Gray headed it up, and we had people from every military branch come and celebrate him, from the Black Military Memorial on 12th and Paseo. And Lawrence A. Jones and Sons provided a hearse and motorcycle guides. And we came down, we walked down, the fire department put a flag across Truman Road to close it off. And then when we got to the archives, we had a band and a second line. So it was,
Amazing.
so we try every year, then we have an Operation Hero Homecoming.
We
Amazing.
had some people in the chat, and a gentleman said, they don't teach our history like you just did on school. Thank you so much. So I was in awe. I knew about Emmett Till, but the other ones I got my little pen, I'm writing. But people in the chat are saying thank you. They're excited. So we're all excited about coming down now.
We're gonna have to get a group.
What's also exciting about Emmett Till is that we would not know the Emmett Till story except a little white boy went out fishing and fished his body out.
Mm,
Otherwise, we don't know that story.
never been found. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Didn't
didn't
think
know that
about it like
part.
that.
Yeah, I didn't know that part. I just always hear that his mom didn't want to, was not going to keep him, they wanted to see what they had done to him. So
But
didn't know that part.
Right.
He had been buried 3 times. And she had to go to her congressman to get Emmett's body taken back to Chicago.
Mhm.
Mississippi didn't want people to know what they had done to him.
Right. I seen a documentary on that. I don't know who made it, but I did watch it. And it just hurts, how Blacks were treated then. I mean, it's to me now, in us, all of us now, it's like, it's kind of unheard of. I mean, they literally walked in his uncle's house and got him. And
Yes.
it's like, wow, they just walk in these people's houses, and to know that some people heard his screams
Mhm.
and they were torturing him. It hurts. And to me, it hurts because of also how our young people are doing each other. And I know it's not just limited to our young people, but us just committing crimes against each other, considering what we've gone through and what we are still going through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People don't fist fight anymore.
No.
Right.
No, they don't.
They
They
have a
don't.
disagreement. They shoot you. They don't fight you. So does that mean that we have become a community of cowards? They don't want to be hit. Don't hit me.
Yep.
Yes.
Can't take a punch.
Mhm.
They
Yep.
they can't fight.
We're joking about it, but
Yes.
really.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
And
then,
and I also, it's hurtful that our young people don't know their history like we were taught in school. I don't think they teach it as much. I don't know. I'm not a teacher.
they don't.
There's a couple of school officials on here, but
Or it's the same.
yeah,
Same
it's
people.
the same ones, when we know there is so much history of people that we don't know that did things. And that's, even at my age, that's what makes it interesting now as well, is because we're learning about other people, other African Americans, and what their contributions to the country.
Yes.
That's true. You know, one of the things that we try to stay focused on at the Black Archives is we are not a pitiful people.
Mm-mm.
When we lead tours and we take people through our building and through our exhibitions, we know that being enslaved and having someone own you was horrific, but they didn't own your mind. And we survived, we thrived, and we were not a pitiful people. And if you wallow in that, and just how sad it was, then you miss what she just talked about. You missed all the wonderful things that we have done. You miss enslaved people had marriages, they had funerals, they had Saturday
Yes.
parties, they had their own church services. Do you know what a hush arbor is? What do you hear? Hush. Hush.
Hush is quiet.
Quiet. What's an arbor? What's Arbor Day?
Tree.
Trees. Trees, right? So a hush arbor is a quiet place in the trees. And so they would find hush arbors and they would find other places where they could go and be themselves and share their culture. That's why we have so many things from different African nations, because they would still get together, still share that, still blend their own language, their own religion, outside of what people could take from them.
Yes.
So we've got to remember that we are still connected directly because our folks wouldn't let it die. They would not give it up. So we're not a pitiful people.
Thank you so much. This is such rich history you're sharing today, and I'm hoping that our viewers will take up this offer, take a time to go. We're going to have to really get a group together and maybe extend it so we can bring some folks down to the Black Archives and really hear and see more of our history. Thank you so much just for what you do.
Uh-oh.
You know, we need it. We need it. Our children need it. We need it. We haven't gotten it
Absolutely.
all.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And join the Friends of the Black Archives. It costs you $5. You get
Okay.
And what is it? The $5? What's it called?
money.
Friends of the Black Archives.
And just go online, www.blackarchives.org, and join the Friends of the Black Archives. And then
Okay.
there's
We can do that.
information about all the things that we're doing, what's coming up. So get in touch, stay in touch.
Yes, and we're going to put that on our social media pages. Look, Sister Secretary is back there working on it now. I'm sure she's dropping it in our chats.
I'm putting it in the chat as we
Yes.
speak.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you so much for inviting me. This has been fun.
We
Yes.
appreciate your time.
Yeah,
I enjoyed my evening with you.
it,
Hate to see you go. It's been very interesting.
it is such an honor to have you here
Yeah.
sharing all this rich history. I'm just here like a kid with some candy.
Tell you, we gotta go. It is amazing. I've gone several times with students, and it is amazing. Every time there's something new. There's always something new that I see, and I get more information about. So yeah, we gotta go.
Yes.
Please do. Please do.
Okay, so you guys, our viewers, be looking for us to put it out there when you want to meet us. You know, this weather's breaking. We like to be in the outside, is what they say these days. We like to be outside. So we're going to be at the Black Archives. We'll let you know, and you can join us. We'll bring a group on down there, and we'll come and check out all of that rich history that's there.
We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Karma.
This was great.
And just so you know, I love Miss Chinda too.
Chanda's a doll.
I got my Kept Woman of God shirt.
Okay. She's amazing.
My crown.
Your crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
It was
Thank you
my
again.
joy. It was my joy. Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Yeah.
And please check us out on Sipping Spilling the Tea. You know, we're on YouTube. As you know, we're live on YouTube. So subscribe. We're on Facebook as well. So we'll try and keep spilling the tea of the great things happening here in our city. So keep joining us and listening in.
Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I don't think we need a Black History Moment. We got so much history.
We had so much.
Dr. Karma, we usually have like a Black History Moment every show that Tiffany will
Yeah.
share, you know, the great things that our community, our Black people have done. But you have shared so much today.
I think so much better history than I probably would have been. Yes.
So what about you, Alicia? Do you have any positive for us today? We've gotten so many great things. You're muted.
I'm trying to do multiple look, I'm putting in there, somebody said, thank you, doctor. I don't know exactly who this individual is, but it's at Mr. Not just Justin Man. He said, thank you, doctor. He appreciated you coming on today as well. And that's as a viewer from the chat. So today, March 15th, is delivery, is the title. It's rare that these days to get a letter from a friend or relative in the mail. Technology has replaced a lot of the need for that kind of communication. However, there is nothing to replace a physical item being delivered to you. And until robots arrive to do their job, we rely on a team of drivers, carriers, and administrators to get the things that you need and want to your door. So the act of kindness is leave a box of goodies in your mailbox for your mail carrier.
Oh,
Oh, yes. That's nice. That's thoughtful. Look, I see you, Dr. Carmen, sipping that tea. We're going to say it's tea.
It's tea.
It's tea.
She said it was tea earlier.
And I got in my gift box from Rochinda.
Hey.
One of her gift boxes, and this
Yes.
is her.
Yes. We truly appreciate you. Dr. Karma, you can tell us later what your t-shirt size is. I also want to share with our viewers, we will begin selling some merch. This is our first t-shirt, Sipping and Spilling the Tea in KC. So we'll be selling some merch. Be looking for that online. We also will have one with our logo there and our name, Sipping and Spilling the Tea in KC, with the teapots. And then we're also going to have, if you're looking at Terry back there in the background, what y'all sipping on? You know, we like to say that at the beginning. So be looking for some merch out there that you guys can buy and support us and help us as we grow and share more of the great things that are happening in our great city, Kansas City. And we truly appreciate you, Dr. Karma. So I'll get with you later on your t-shirt size so we can get your t-shirt. Yes.
But also, don't forget we have a gift shop.
Oh, yes. Well, when we get down there, we're going to come and visit everything. Go to the cafe, the gift shop. We're going to see everything.
Yeah, you can sell your merchandise there.
Oh, we could?
Yeah, Rochinda sells her books there. We have local.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. We may try to do that too. Thank you so much. Yes.
Take care. I don't know.
The guest was KP. That's who it is.
Hi, KP. He's one of our loyal viewers.
Hi, KP.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're ready to roll out. It's gone so fast. This has been such a rich conversation and very informative. I'm going to reiterate, please go down and check out the Black Archives. They're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, correct?
And weekends by appointment.
And
give them the
weekends by
address.
appointment. Yes. Oh, yes. The address?
1722. Thank you. 1722 East 17th Terrace. We're just down on 17th Terrace in Highland, and we're right across from the community center and the Urban Youth Academy.
Oh, okay.
Not with them. We're behind the Jazz Museum. And so come visit, come often, and bring people with you.
We're going to be down there. We're going to be calling for our viewers to come with us, Dr. Karma. Okay? Yes, yes. All right. We like to close out on a positive note about friends. We have been friends all our life here in Kansas City, grew up together. Are we ready to roll out with our favorite song? We do not own the rights to this music at all, but we love it so much.
We don't own the rights, copyrights to this song. On the telephone, I was at time else. I would say, yo, how bad you with that mind. And they came to argue. Yeah, nothing to talk. Less of me. Started out, but I guess we went up. Thank you for watching.
Enjoy your week. Have a good week.
Yes.
Do it like this.
How many of us have them? Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Again. Oh.
All right. See you guys next week.
Mm-hmm.